Welcome to Advanced Search and Academic Search Complete. If you look toward the top of the page, you'll notice these features highlighted in white in the blue strip at the top. If you click on publications, for example, we can browse every publication within the database according to alphabetical order. If we click on one, for example, highlighted in blue here, we can get the detailed record information and all the publication years. But let's say if we know what we want, for example, in particular, we can go back and we can change it up by, say, clicking on the right here on by subject and description, and we can enter one in particular. Let's say if we want to, let's say we want to find something in academic librarianship, and then we can go ahead and click browse. And let's say if we want to say this publication, Journal of Academic Librarianship, we can click on it, highlight in blue here, and again we'll get the detailed record information. Now, if we want to know about academic librarianship, and say during the COVID-19 pandemic, we can go ahead and click on 2020 here, and click on say this issue, and then it'll list all the articles published within that issue here in the database like that. Now, if we go back to the top of the page and click subject terms, this will allow us to search for any term and any other terms that are related to your key search term. So let's say if we enter libraries, for example, and then click browse over here to the right, we can get libraries, which is a pretty broad term. If we click on it, we will get all what are called a scope note, which is a description or definition of what the term means, and then a listing of the broader or narrow terms. Now, let's say if we want a narrow term, let's say academic libraries, which is more narrow, but we don't want to go any further than this, then we'd go ahead and check off the box here, select the Boolean operator of our choice, in this case and then click on add, and it'll automatically add it to the search box here at the top. Now, if we want to add something else, let's say libraries and libraries and teachers, for example, we can highlight that too, go back to the top and also add that as well. Then we can go ahead and click search, and it will give us a list of results related to our input. Now, if we go to cited reference here, more toward the top middle of the page, and click on it, we can, regardless of whether you only know one citation field or multiple citation fields, you can go ahead and search for sources directly. Let's say you want to input an author, and you want to look for him. Let's say you can go ahead and click on search, and it'll give you various results with potential. Now, if you were to include, say, both the author and, say, a particular year, let's say 2015, you can search that way, and it'll become more narrow because the more information you put in, the more narrow your results will get. Now, for this one, all citation fields, instead of, if you put the same search from any of these into here, instead of just searching like for this within the author citation field, it will search for this within all citation fields. So if we click on that, it'll be a wider net of results than our initial search back in here. Now, if we want to search for particular images, go ahead and go to the top middle of the page and click images. And then let's say we want a photo of a person, let's say a historical figure, we click photos of people and check off historical photos. And then let's say we want black and white. And let's go ahead and enter a name in the search box here at the top. Let's try Robert E. Lee, for example. Okay, and then there we go. And then enter search. Now then, if you click on one of the first two results, there you go, a historical image, very close to what we input. Now, if we go to preference here off to the far right and click on it, we can customize our search experience by selecting, say, for our result list, if we only want the brief or the title, or if we want both of them together. The image quick view allows us to preview thumbnail images with our results. And then page layout, if we want the filters separate or the content separate or both of them together, we can do that. We can also sort by relevance or by default, and we can choose a number of results. Now, if we go down further and under print, email, save, or export, these are the settings you set if you want to save the link to the detailed record or the full text or the citation. You can go ahead and these are the settings for doing that. And you could, like, for example, you can email to yourself. If you want the detailed record to only have, say, the citation or the abstract displayed, you can do that. So a lot of customization here. Now we can begin a sample search. These are guided style search boxes here, and with citation fields and various field codes, if we want to search that way. Now let's try an example search, such as academic libraries. Let's see, libraries, and cultural competence. Let's try it and search. Okay, we've got some results here. Now let's say we want to try a new search. Let's say academic libraries and technology. Go ahead and search again. Okay, we've got our results. But what if you wanted to combine more than one search together? You'd go here to the middle of the page and click the search history highlighted in blue. And you'll can see your search history. Now, if you want to edit your search, you could go over to the right and click on edit highlight in blue, and it'll allow you to modify your search terms or your limiters that you put in place for your searches. But if you want to combine more than one search together, go ahead and check off the boxes here and click, let's say, and click either of the search with and or buttons. Let's say or, for example. And that should broaden our search even more. Now, if we have if we click on a record that we think has potential, we can go ahead. If you want to save a link to the detailed record, or to the citation, or to the full text, you can go ahead and. But if you want to do it save it as a Google Doc, you go ahead and over to the right here and click on this Google Drive icon under Tools here. If you want to save the detailed record, the full text, or the citation, you go ahead and either print, email, save. Now, if you cite, you can go ahead and click on this, and you'll get a full. Make sure you find the citation format that's correct according to your school or your instructor. But don't just copy and paste when you found the one that's correct. Make sure that you got to check with the reference guide to make sure that you can't just copy and paste and assume that it's okay. Okay, double check. Now, to export, if you export, go ahead. You can choose the bibliographic management software program to export your citations to, but you gotta check. It's probably a good idea to check with your library subscription plan first before doing that. Now, if you want to create a permanent link, you go ahead and copy and paste this link, and you can get back to this record at a later time. If you have any more questions, or go ahead and click on this ask a librarian, and it'll take you to this, or you can click on help, and that you can do that too. Well, thank you, and that's it, and happy searching.